Hey guys, this is Cheese, and this is my story of my first time ever in Utah.
So, this is the first time my family had ever been out of state to anywhere besides California. We're all just kind of there having a good time, expecting the unexpected. And we're there with my dad's coworker friend. We'll call him Buddy, because he's a good buddy, and his name was actually Buddy. Uh, we go up to his cabin that he'd been building for the past few summers, and he tells us that he wants someone to go check it out, spend the week with him, and just tell us what we'll get for like the feel. Anyways, while we're there, my uncle, my aunt, my mom, my brother go into town about half an hour drive away, so they can go get groceries because we're gonna be there for a while. And my dad and me are alone in the cabin. Luckily for me, though I was bored, just that Christmas before, my family had bought me my very own DS Lite. And I was like, you know what? I don't mind. I can spend some time here alone playing my DS. So I turn it on, start playing Sonic Rush, and my dad comes up and he says, "Hey, we're out in the wilderness. I don't want you going on any electronics." So he takes my DS and says, "Go ride your bike outside." Because we brought my bike to Utah. It was his idea. We go downstairs, and he's like, "All right, good luck." And he closes the door and goes back inside. Well, me being a kid who, wants to listen to my dad, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'll just go ride my bike. Something I didn't mention earlier is that this cabin that Buddy built is in the middle of Utah, straight up on a mountain. My dumb 8-year-old mind thought, I'm not going to go uphill, that's too much work. So I start riding it downhill, without thinking about the fact that this is a very steep mountain and not a hill, and there's rocks everywhere. And I'm like, this is kind of bumpy, but I can manage this. I'm a big boy, I can do it myself, I'm strong. And 8 seconds in, I go right over the handlebars, the bike flips, lands on top of me, and I roll another 20 feet. And I start crying. And then I realize I'm in the middle of nowhere, no one can hear me, so I cry even more, and no one comes to help. So after being down there for a few minutes and just realizing that the pain is going away slowly, I walk my bike back up the hill, back to the cabin, and I'm like, "Hey Dad, I'm back." And he immediately starts freaking out. Because something that I didn't notice was that my entirely brand new plain white shirt was horribly stained red with so much of my blood. My dad had me cleaned up, had me change clothes, and about 10 or 15 minutes later, the rest of my family came home. So we were retelling this story about 2 years ago, and I was like, haha, yeah, I remember that first time in Utah when I fell down the mountain. And my dad just looks at me, and my mom just looks at my dad and says, "I'm sorry, what?" And then I found out at the ripe old age of 19, 11 years later, my dad never told my mom that I straight up just fell off a cliff.
And I'm lucky I didn't break any bones.